Welcome to We Are Something Else, episode 162. Don't dream it's over. And we're back. We're back. Before we get started, CB.
Hey guys, so 2023 really has been kind of a tough year already for a lot of us. And so here we are again. We're going to dedicate a show. Lost my uncle in the beginning of the year. He was born with a congenital heart defect. So it was something that you always knew, like, he could be gone really at any time. But one of the best things about him was he lived his life you know, as if he was gonna be, here for forever, So he didn't take any chances, or I mean he put himself out there. He was an entrepreneur, built himself from the ground up, um, and was honestly like my business mentor growing up. So there's a lot of successes that I feel like I've earned in the workplace, that a lot of it I can contribute to a lot of the lessons that he taught me growing up. So, want to dedicate this show to my uncle Kyle Wingfield. Um, thoughts, prayers, all my love goes out to Ashley and the boys. I love you guys, and think about you guys every day, and that's just how it is for forever. So, love y'all.
Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers for sure. Um, Fellas, we are here another Thursday. We are in March. Happy Women's History Month. Although I don't know if I said anything about Black History Month last month. That's how quick it was. But welcome to Women's History Month. What's good, bro?
Happy it's still Black History Month, by the way. Condolences, CB. Yeah, man. It's I feel like we got March got here pretty fast. All of us have some new endeavors, whether it's work, side hustles and stuff like that, or just new things. I will say this just real quick off of that. We talk as a group for the last, sheesh, was it 3 years now? Like consistently, you know what I mean? And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. In the moment, I'm sure that we've all saved each other in some point of time of sanity and just the day-to-day shit that we go through. So, I appreciate just the platform and just who we are to each other, and we just keep that going.
Absolutely. So couple things before we get going. Shout out to Vets. That's my man, E. Tomlinson from Bros Beer Whiskey, formerly of the OT show, but currently of Soul Tales as well. That's his hoodie right there. Well, that's us right there. Everybody knows who that is. And then shout out to Be Easy and his business partner. I can't remember his partner's name, so forgive me. But yeah, if you notice, me and CB got matching patches on tonight, different colors. Um, Culture Couture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys were privy to watching YouTube last Saturday, you saw a 30-minute put together of our first actual live on location kind of pod. It was fun. It was fun. And ET came out and he helped, carry some of the load with the live reporting. But it was a good event. Shout out to Be Easy. We were at Bowie Town Center at What Should I Call My Store? So a little boutique store.
Place is dope.
For Yeah, it's dope. It was dope. Me, CB, and I actually missed each other while we were there, but I knew he was coming. I see CB mostly. But the funny thing is, so mind you, we've been at this for a while now, and Eric ET has never met Be Easy in person, so that was interesting to see. Everybody looks a lot taller in person and off screen, and then kind of the similar thing with CB going to see Be Easy for the first time,
Yeah.
and showing out support. Be Easy showed a lot of love on Saturday.
It's funny, man. Like, and he might retell this story on the next Soul Tales, but me and him, we probably dapped each other up like 35 times while we were there. It was just one of those funny moments. Like you've spoken with some of these people. Like, people may never realize that me and E Rich have never been in the same room before, but like, you already know that if it ever came down to it, I got his back. Like, it's wild how that stuff can work out just based off of,
Absolutely.
you know, how you're able to interact and the amount of time that you actually spend and dedicate with these people, whether it's through text or just the group chat. But it
Right. Absolutely.
it
And
was,
we talk almost every day.
yeah, yeah. And
Somebody's putting something in the chat every day.
some people go to the gym at like 5:30 in the morning on Saturdays, and that's when the chat starts, you know?
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
5:30 on the East Coast time as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But
Or that morning 5 o'clock email text message, like there's not somebody on the West Coast that has to get that annoying buzzard, because then now he jump starts the text and everybody wants to
look,
chime in.
hey,
But
hey,
you
hey,
know,
look,
it's worth the pain. It's worth the pain.
right. I mean, exactly. Look, there's a lot of people on the East Coast that showed love last night to somebody on the West Coast while we were working on some things.
For sure.
So look, it goes both ways. But look, let's get the show going. A shout out to Chuck Claggett for watching. Shout out to Rashad for watching. We're definitely going to hear or see from Chuck Claggett later on in the show. That is a promise. So, with all that said, fellas, let's wrap. Let's start with this one. I want to call this one Dilbert didn't ask for this. So, if you guys haven't been watching the news or kind of what was trending the past couple of days on social media, and actually it made its way in our chat through E Rich, because E Rich said, "Damn, not Dilbert." And typically when we do like kind of stuff like that in our chat, means somebody died or something is trending. In this case, oh boy, it's trending. So Scott Adams, the guy with the pen, the color, the artist of Dilbert, he got a hold of some of Aaron Rodgers' relaxation juice, and he just let loose on social media last week. So I'm gonna because he said a lot, so there's gonna be a couple. We got to digest this, and I didn't want to write all this stuff, but so for those who watching don't know what Scott Adams said, let's start with this part.
So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as black for a while, years now, because I like to be on the winning team, and I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help the black community, that's sort of the biggest lever. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as black.
Well, isn't that nice of him to identify himself as black? This guy has so much white privilege that he conveniently identifies himself as black. Let's just digest that first clip right there. Let's get you guys comments as we talk about this. Let's start with the resident CB. Let's just start with CB.
I mean, it's so in your face. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was just right there. My man sounds so lost in his own reality. Like, that's just wild, man. Because I can't even tell if he's being serious or if he's trying to make a really bad joke. Because he's a cartoonist or whatever. But I mean, bro, like you said, the white privilege is showing strong, real strong, regardless of the angle you want to take.
I mean, call it what you want. The you know, I almost want to just say he's on drugs, like because the shit that's coming out of his
Oh
mouth
no.
is almost like he's a candidate for somebody who needs one of those white jackets in a padded room because the calm, cool demeanor that he states that he identified because that's the cool crowd and
It's the winning team.
yeah.
I mean,
All right, all right, all
I,
right. Hold it there. Let's go to part 2 of this. There's more.
Black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course, why I identified as black, so I could be on the winning team for a while. But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a
Okay. So what I take from that is doesn't think it's okay to be white. But I thought you said you were black. But it's not okay to be. You don't want to be black anymore because
he's making the
it's
statistics worse. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just took supposedly.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
bro.
And then
I'm not even one of those math Asians, bro. Come on.
then hate group. A group of blacks that don't like whites as a hate group. But what do you call a group of white men that don't like blacks? Oh, the KKK.
And they
Oh
put
my
hoods
god!
on
And they
and
put hoods. So
they got a uniform and shit.
yeah, I don't know. All right, Everett, let's start with you. Looks like you have a headache.
I guess I would, if I was able to, I would ask him what is the percentage of white men who or white people that don't like black people there.
They were born by accident. That's true. That's true.
Like, it's like first of all, who out of the black delegation gave him his black card to begin with? Who co-signed that we gave Dilbert okay? Like that. First of all, we need to get that answer because he clearly assigned it to
Privilege.
himself.
That's the
Yeah, I
privilege.
get that, but I'm just saying we all know because we have given up some people, Stacey Dash, and others along the way for others. I'm just saying I don't recall us ever agreeing to taking Dilbert. However, this shit is just it's beyond funny. It's really sad, to be honest with you.
This is like a person that only wears Skechers calling himself a sneakerhead.
I get that. But if you look at his demeanor and just to really kind of tie it down, because like I watched it a couple of times because I really had to kind of, if you will, digest the fact that he was dead ass serious. This was something that you can tell that he has really felt, and the fact that he started out by saying that he identified as a black person because that was the cool group or that was the group, and then whatever poll that he ran on his own decided to turn and be like, we're a hate group now because we don't like white people. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's comical, and in the sense that I think as soon as it dropped out, all of his publications went away.
Oh yeah, he definitely got canceled.
How
CB,
cool is he
anything?
now?
I mean, he made his own point against him when he said you normally don't take these polls serious. And if anyone's ever looked up the company that this poll was run by, it's like a troll poll corporation, bro. Like it's all stuff to try to get people triggered. And that's exactly what it did. And he was literally talking about how that's, you normally don't, take these things serious, blah, blah, blah. And, his real feelings came out. Because let's be honest, like, like him stating that he identified as being black, bro, you can still, you identifying doesn't change the fact that you can cross the street without ever worrying about anything that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you identifying doesn't actually mean shit. So
that's the cop out of saying I'm not racist.
Bro, I mean, bro, you don't need to say it. If you have to say it.
Right. What I think is really going on here is this guy is realizing that nobody reads a newspaper anymore. I think that's what's really happening here. All right, part 3. We're almost done.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods.
So he wants them just to get away from black people. Just get away. Weren't we minding our business when we got the trip that we didn't want? Weren't we just chilling?
That wasn't a Carnival cruise.
No. So it's just that easy. I mean, you brought us here, now you just want to dismiss us and go somewhere else. Just leave.
The fear, bro. The fucking
And what
fear.
does Don Lemon have to do with this? Why? Again, more validation of it's not how I feel. This is how Don Lemon feels. This is not how I feel. This is how the poll is.
No, I got a black friend. Come on.
Exactly. How many black people I had over my house last week? All right, next one.
So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying. Now we should be friendly. Like I'm not saying start a war or do anything bad. Nothing like that. I'm just saying get away. Just get away. And here's my take on all of it.
Now I want to know how you were helping black people. By saying that you're one of us? Or drawing that fucking Dilbert comic for 30 years? Was that helping us? I don't know. You state other
Dilbert's not
sources
a
of
black
facts.
character.
I know, but I don't know. I'm confused.
I mean, my man, he
you can say that.
You're allowed to say that. For real. No, like
exactly. Why are you looking for payoff?
No, for real. Like if you shouldn't be looking for some reward or some benefit out of this. Like, it's not helping your fellow man is not about what you make, what your profit is out of that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing something out of the kindness of your own heart, you don't expect anything in return. You don't ask for anything in return. So everything that he's saying it's all, oh, I've done all this stuff and they're not gonna repay me for this. Instead, they're gonna call me names. Because, bro, here's the thing. If you're not one of those names, it's not gonna hurt your feelings. So,
Yep.
it's like I said, he just put it all out there. It's right there.
Yeah.
Well,
You got something to say?
I, I I really don't want to kick the resident, Black Wall Street version of this down, but I mean, Black Wall Street, Central Park, I can just keep naming all the locations that were black owned, that it was, oh, wait, it was angry white people who don't like black people who then took land, did all the massacres, burnt, bombed, raped, pillaged, the whole nine. When we were minding our own business, making our own money, creating our own communities to stay away from you guys, which clearly you guys, because remember, you guys didn't like us. So we said, okay, we'll go here. We'll do our own thing. Leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. That didn't help. That didn't work. And yet you're saying that the reverse has happened? It's delirium. Like, he's on some other shit. And to be honest with you, whatever, comes from at this point, bro, it's like I'm really at this, you've made your millions, cool. Now see how it feels to be on the other side of that. And, let's see who picks up and rocks with you now when you kind of, let your, when you pull your skirt up and let everybody see what you about now.
Yo, what's up, Be Easy? Shout out to you, brother. You missed the shout out.
This is just the Be Easy show.
Culture. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is two of us are rocking the gear, bro. E Rich needs to get some of this. I'm sure he will.
I got you.
So let's.
You got it in red? Is it?
God damn it.
Culture Couture. I think you know why he might. This story right here may have triggered some things. So, Howard University swim team.
No.
Yeah.
Imagine
we're
this being.
taking over the pool
being,
now.
This being his trigger. Damn it.
We're taking over the pool now. You're getting away with it. So, men's swim team.
Didn't swim for this.
The men's swim team makes history with the first championship in more than 30 years. Howard is also the only HBCU swim team in the nation with the men and women's programs are getting the attention. Swim and diving team. They took the swim and diving team conference title. Miles Simon, Jordan Walker named outstanding swimmer and diver. Simon happened to set 7 records over the course of the meet. It was awesome. It was an amazing story. Right in our backyard.
Yep.
You can't say that we don't like water and we can't swim anymore. These guys are killing it. Yeah, now this is a feel-good story. You rarely hear stories like this. E.
In my best impression of Dilbert, I thought it was just a movie. It's not a movie, bro. This is what happens. Like, we are that dope. We are that good. This press, like, you got to imagine the stuff that they've probably gone through to get to this level. Recognition comes with them actually putting in work, time, the practice. But this story is happening all over, bro. Like, there's like I said, man, we're dope all the way through. So we don't, I appreciate the positive part of this, and respects to them. I hope they, all take this and should level up to the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, where it can be, talked about at a higher level even after that, because we don't need it to die just as Sports Illustrated. It needs to be continued on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. The fact that it's also in our backyard, like you mentioned, makes it that much doper. Um, we know a bunch of HU alums in the area, and they're pumped about this. This is big time, and it bringing more attention to the sport can help it grow. Within the community, which is awesome. So, big ups to these guys. Like you said, over 30 years. Um, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of dedication that these kids got, putting into their craft, and it's showing out with gold. So big ups to them. That's awesome.
All right. So sticking with the theme of sports, but not really. It just happens to fall on this platform. Um, I'm going to call this one the pat down. So let's talk Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is star freshman basketball player for Alabama. And so it's a double-edged sword with Brandon Miller right now. Brandon Miller is the guy who supplied teammate Darius Miles and Michael Davis, who wasn't on the team, with the gun that ultimately killed. I had her name. I apologize. I'll find it. But ultimately killed a young lady outside of a club. Now, Miller has not been charged, and he probably won't be charged. DA Paula Whitley says there's nothing that they can charge him with. Now, me and CB were talking about this earlier, and I'm no attorney, nor do I pretend to be one, but I would think that if I gave a gun to someone who didn't have one of their own, I drove from where I was at because they called me and told me to bring a gun. I come, give you the gun, and when he brought the gun, um, he told Davis the heat is in the hat. So slang for heat is also gun. It's in the hat. And then he also said there's one in the head, which means there's one in the chamber. The gun is loaded, ready to go. He then gives the gun to Davis. And next thing you know, a young lady has lost her life. Now, Miles and Davis were both charged with capital murder. Miles was kicked off the team.
I'm having trouble connecting.
But
I'll keep trying.
not sure who that was. But whatever. But again, Miller will not be charged again. I'm not an
Ebony's gonna be
attorney.
like, "Who the hell was that?"
I'm not an attorney. But doesn't it sound like accessory? Something like that. I'm bringing a. No one asks you to bring a gun for good reasons. I can't think of a reason you need a gun for a good reason. So let's kind of start with that. And let's start with that portion of it. Then we'll get to the pat down portion of it. Go ahead, E.
I think the only way that he would not be an accessory is if you take that example and say that he was told like he was using it for protection, as in self-defense, right? So um, rightfully so. Kind of the example would be either one of you flew out to California here for some time. Clearly, you did not travel on a plane with a firearm and said that you needed some type of protection. If I handed you a gun, and my understanding is that that is just for you to protect yourself, not necessarily knowing that you were actually going to fire it off at somebody, I'm still not liable because there's no evidence that shows I knew what you were doing. However, text messages, phone calls, all that thread, if that comes out that shows that he knew exactly what it was for, yes, he can be an accessory. But in this case, I will say that, hopefully if he really did not know and he was just supplying a gun, he also just would have been like the dude was like, if you got one, let me get one. All right, whatever. I got access to them. I, not the first time, but probably could figure out how to get you a gun. So in that sense, right, and not knowing that you're not asking. I mean, if it's the homies, I'm asking. But if it's like, if either you see, you or CB asking me for a gun, I'm thinking, first let me know because we might be able to handle this together, where you not having to put your life in danger, right? But if it's really on some, like if you was just like on some I gotta protect my family type shit, I'm gonna pass that over to you, no questions asked. You know what I mean? So, and if your intentions is for me not to know, you also are not gonna tell me what your intent is going to be to use it, because then you keep me out of it. So,
All right. CB?
It's because there's a parallel going on kind of in the NFL at the exact same time, because this kid is projected to be a top 5 pick in the draft.
Yep.
And you've got the situation with the defensive lineman from Georgia who they put a warrant out for his arrest for
Why he's at the
being
combine.
involved in a fatal car crash, and he's at the combine right now, so there are those parallels going on, which is kind of wild to see. But for this specific situation, it's interesting to see how this will play out, because we've seen so many other situations where it's not someone of any kind of stature. It's certainly not someone who's projected to be a top 5 pick in the NBA, and it's like a foregone conclusion that they're going to get put away. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all the evidence that we can gather from, all the news reports that are out there certainly is not enough to say that this kid is guilty of anything. So like Eve was saying, there are definitely ways that it could be honest to God that, he was just giving it to this guy for protection, whatever. Like, but it's the optics are not good. Like
Right.
we can agree that the optics are not good, even if, ultimately, he didn't think what was going to go down went down.
Right. All right. So now the second part to this story. If you see the picture, you see the pat down. Now, Coach Nate Oates says Miller probably won't get in trouble. He also said we can't control everything everybody does outside of practice. He's never been in any trouble, just the wrong place, the wrong time. Okay? Sounds like he's not going to get kicked off the team or like again any trouble, right? But okay, whatever. But after all of that, this is where, if you do have a problem with Brandon Miller, this is where it is. After all of that, during the week that it was announced that the police knew he was and his gun was involved, he supplied the gun. He's not going to get in trouble by Alabama, and he's not going to get charged with anything as of now. Well, they say he's not going to get charged with anything. In the starting lineup, he comes out and has his teammate pat him down as his name is announced. Everyone knows what the pat down is. You've been through TSA. You've watched cops before. It could have been you getting done by the cops. Typically, they pat you down for weapons. And in this case, we know the weapon is probably a gun, right? So this is his way of responding the same week, which is, again, you do this as a gesture to be cool or whatever. Somebody still lost their life. So when you do something like this, it affects that. It talks about that situation. Ultimately, somebody lost their life. 2 guys are in jail for capital murder. You're going to get off. You're about to go perhaps to the NBA. Someone lost their life. You got a problem with the pat down?
for sure, it's poor taste. And you started off by saying the key word is optics. And what is every organization after college all about? Optics. So at this point, let's just be honest. No NBA team is going to want to take a first round where that is the optics. They're also not going to probably take him in the second round because that's still the optics, right? For sure is corny. G League probably won't take him because it's also now a more paid league that has more eyesight. That's a lot more spot, like real kind of clean. That's clean basketball down there, right? That's still Adam Silver. They ain't messing around down there. He rightfully so could have got himself where he's gonna have to go overseas now, all because he's young and dumb, and nobody in his circle, coach, friend said, "Bro, that's not the way to go." You know what I mean? Like, play the tournament all you want now, it still don't make a difference. You can probably even win the championship and still will
It's
not
not
get
gonna make a
drafted
difference. Yep.
because it's the
Because
optics, bro.
exactly, and then there's a court case that still has to happen.
Your name's still
So
gonna be brought up in the newspapers all the time.
exactly. CB,
Yeah, I mean, E-Rich laid it out pretty well. They're trying to play it off as the TSA angle because he's about to take off. It's a basketball analogy and all that, but like we already said, it's in poor taste. The just the ability for that to be misconstrued, if that actually was the real intent, and this is obviously what we're talking about, that's not a smart move. And like he laid out, it really could have been the worst business decision this kid could have ever made. Like, we don't know. I'll be honest. I don't watch Alabama basketball. Like, I don't watch as much college basketball these days as I did, when I was younger anyways. I'm certainly not watching Alabama. And if this dude was generational, then, maybe we might be sitting here saying that this isn't going to have any kind of impact. But he's clearly not generational because, I mean, we're not talking about him as the number one overall can't miss prospect. We're talking about him as a top 5 prospect. And we know in the NBA, so many of these guys don't end up making it for one reason or another.
right? Okay, guys.
Sam
Let's,
Bowie.
let's get into a lightning round. A minute or less on your responses. Your minute or
Sam
less.
didn't have anything to do with this.
A minute or less with your responses. Lightning round. So let me lay out the first story. Call this one Out of the Darkness. So Aaron Rodgers took a darkness retreat to contemplate his future. His future would in football, Green Bay Packers. And if you don't know what darkness retreat is, it's a pitch black room, no lights, no TVs, no distractions, just to be alone in his thoughts. Now, do you even care about this darkness retreat? Do you even care what Aaron Rodgers' next move is? And what do you think he will do next? Let's start with CB. Minute or less.
This stuff is not for me, like, as a football fan. I only care about whether Aaron Rodgers is going to play next year from a fantasy football stance. I don't care what he's doing in the offseason. I don't care what he does in his free time. I want to know if dudes are going to be playing on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays and during the pandemic on every day of the week. Nah, I don't care. But I do think I think he's still gonna play. And I mean, there's still a chance he could still stay in Green Bay, but watch out if he ends up going to like Carolina or something.
Right. What hurts him is they don't have ownership, and he learned from Brett Favre.
Yeah, my 30-second take is that yes, from a fantasy football standpoint, but more so for a Las Vegas Raiders, who is currently in the quarterback situation of looking for one. Yes, he just spent time in the black hole. What do they call the Raider Nation? The black. This just works out. He was already chiming of what it's going to take and the villain that he is going to create, as he's already the villain of the NFL, right? They love to hate Aaron Rodgers. What better to then go to the damn Raiders and win, just to piss people off and have people talk about it. So in that
Levante.
sense, right? In that sense, give Josh Jacobs the money, sign or trade for Aaron Rodgers, use the draft pick, and let's go. Let's get this.
All right, last 30 seconds or less. 30 seconds or less. This one doesn't need a whole minute. Dame hit 71 the other night and then was immediately drug tested afterwards. What the hell's with the drug tests after these NBA players put up high points? What are they testing for? What drug makes you put up 71 points?
I'll defer to they should be drug testing the other team's defense for allowing somebody to hit 71. I am of the old school that if soon as somebody hits about 30, we're taking his ass out the game or we're double teaming him and somebody else is gonna have to win the game.
Yeah. We've seen this, and it's across all sports. Someone has a great performance, immediately the drug test comes. It's very prevalent in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell had the same thing after he dropped 70. Like, it's hilarious at this point, but it's got to be annoying because Dame said it took away from the day.
All right, that was great. Let me tell you what's also great. DC Shot Pie. Use our discount code WRSE10. Shout out to Grant and the family. If you haven't had Chicago deep dish pizza, it's here now in DC. Look at those. Oh, look at those pizzas right there. Got steak and cheese, salmon, pesto, sausage, pepperoni right there. And if you don't like Chicago deep dish, they got your flats right there. They got your bread pudding. If you're into desserts, just look, holla at Grant. Use our code WRSE10 when you order a DC Shop Pie. All right.
It's a good
What we
theme
got
song.
happening there?
Facts. Yes, the DC Shy Pie, of course, the sponsor of Is It Just E at this present moment. This is a good one in regards to it is March, and a couple of things that we have discussed. But one thing that did not come up yet in the conversation is the slave trade. I mean, the combine in the NFL, and it brought to my attention that we've talked about movies. I've done a Is It Just E top football movies, and in my time working from home, sometimes having breaks that seems long enough to last the movie. One of the one of the classics came on, and I realized that I forgot this classic, but this is probably the best movie to depict exactly what all these other movies have done and talked about and what we still talk about to this day. And that is none other than Johnny B. Good. Uh First of all, the cast. The cast in itself, I'm not even here to talk about the cast. What I'm talking about, the movie in itself, hands down, from uh high school quarterback getting recruited by everybody and their mama, talking about they're flying him out. That they had the whole, on the stadium floor, like all this stuff is the things that, and this was 88. I believe this movie came out in 88. The stuff that they were portraying back then, and knowing that that is only what was happening, and this was them portraying it in 88. So you can only imagine where these other football movies got it. But Is It Just E is that Johnny B. Good actually is the bar that is set for college football movies, and that it actually trumps, and I dare say this, Varsity Blues.
Hmm.
We're
You
talking
can,
about. We're talking. Hold on. So we're talking about high school movies, high school football
yes,
movies.
high school football. This
Whoa.
trumps Varsity Blues. Damn the whole whipped cream moment. He was he was knocking down the owner's wife.
Okay. What
Come
about
on.
what about Friday Night Lights?
No, 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 no. The
I'm just
the
asking. I'm
the the reality of the friendship to
What
the
about
girlfriend.
Remember the Titans?
ah.
From the friendship, the long lasting friendship of when he didn't have shit, to the girlfriend that was around while she was working the odd ass job while he was getting ready to become a superstar. The parents, the grandpa who was slinging the little the fish lines and shit like that. Like all of this is it's so true in a sense, but they made it into a comedy, and then you throw in like the actors of the caliber that they had in here. This
That's Uma
movie
Thurman. That's
really,
and Robert Downey Jr. So
yeah,
look,
that's what
in
I'm
all
saying.
honesty,
Crazy.
to be fair, I've never seen this movie, so I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Stop playing, bro. Not you. Not you.
I've
Who
never
I
seen
know
this
is
movie.
you're a part of the '80s movies
I
crew. Who did
know,
you
I
not?
know. I've probably watched Just One of the Guys too many times and missed this one.
That part.
But I'm going. I'll look. I'm gonna do my fair assessment and watch it, and give you a true critique. So, in all honesty, I have to watch it. You should tell me to watch it before you
I would have thought
CB.
you watched it. This is a part of the
I
'80s classic.
You're right. It's got the 80 stars in it.
Nah, it's messed up because I know that I watched this movie when I was like a kid. Um, but I can't like I don't remember anything from it besides the cast because the cast is memorable. Uh, but that's the thing for me when we're talking about like high school football movies. Yeah, like nah, like yeah, for me it was remember the Titans and Varsity Blues. Like those were the two joints. You know what I mean? So I've already got homework. We're just adding this to the homework. That's all that we're doing.
Oh yeah, you can put this at the end of your list. You got two other. For y'all don't know, CB still has to watch Mo Money and Boomerang to give his assessment. Now
I didn't even remember Mo
the
Money
names.
was the second movie until the other
He
night.
needs to
Like,
watch Boomerang and Mo Money and give his critique. All right, where are we at? Right
that's
here.
gonna
Yo, shout out to the producer on that beat. That was ridiculous. Shout out to the producer.
we might know him. We might know
Me too. Ain't seen them. Okay. Oh, he said those.
him.
Wait a minute, those. Okay, are we talking about Johnny Be Good? And you misspoke. Is that Siri that messed up those? It should have been that. Please
I
don't
mean,
tell me you haven't seen
or
Mo
it
Money
could just
and
be
Boomerang.
I mean,
Sean. I need answers right
oh
now.
yeah, true.
I need
Damn.
answers. So go ahead, CB. What we got for that copper drop?
All right, so Copper Drop is going to be a little bit different this week because there's two fairly hyped releases coming out very soon. And in this edition, it's going to be an either or. You have to pick one. And we're choosing between the reimagined Air Jordan 3, the white cement, and the Tiffany Air Force One. Rashad, you're not allowed to pick both. That's the point of the game.
No, he
Um,
said all of them. He hasn't
so
seen all of the movies.
and we are going to bring the prices into the mix because you have to. But the Tiffany Air Force Ones retail supposed to be $400. Those drop on the 7th, I believe. And or the threes are 210. So not relative, neither are, you know, cheap by any means, but if you could only choose one, and in this, this little exercise, you can get them for retail, which one would you choose? I think clearly the Tiffany or Dunks, the Tiffany Forces are going to have incredible resale value, but
Yep.
I'm going to wear the threes. So when it comes to me having to choose, I will actually choose the threes in this case. But like if you are one of those
They are
resellers and stuff,
nice.
they're very nice. And
So nice.
multiple people on this podcast have, Tiffany collab shoes in the collection. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the collabs are dope. And shout out to Mello for being the one that's like the face of this whole release. But yeah, this is an either or. You can only choose one. If you could only have You were guaranteed, but you could only have one of them. You taking the Reimagine 3 or are you taking the Tiffany Forces?
All right, so is this real life? Like if I'm using my money, or is this like hypothetical if I had to choose?
Nah, this is both. This is you get to
Yeah.
you get to choose. You get one of them for retail,
Ooh, okay.
but
So,
you only get one of them. You have to choose,
all right, okay,
but
okay,
it is your money.
okay. So, if I had the money, I will go with the Air Force Ones. A $400 price point, I know, but you said I've seen what these things are reselling for on StockX. It
Yeah.
could be worth the investment. So, and I'm not a huge. It takes a lot for me to want a pair of Air Force Ones. They got to be off white, special colorway, or this Tiffany right here, which gonna be super limited. And they are gonna be on Sneakers app. So that will be my choice. E. Threes. Okay. Look,
And
easy enough.
this is messed up too because I'm not gonna say too much, but someone may have shown up to work today. That I'm just gonna stop there.
Did you pick yours? Which one? Did you pick? Did you pick a pair?
Oh, I'm taking the threes personally.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
I'm actually like I do like Air Force Ones, but if I'm being real, the only reason I would want them would
Mhm.
be to flip them, and for me, that's not enough reason for me to want them more than the shoes I would wear. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Okay. Know what time it is. So I did say, yo, Chuck Claggett was going to show up, and we love when our people send in pics of their shoes for shoe and tell. So there's the box, Jeremy Scott box. It's the reverse colors. It's the white box, blue stripes, and
Look at
like it is
look at Mom's flexing, yo.
cream with this colorway. So let me tell you how this worked out. I was like, this is a pair I'm interested in. And then I go to pick up Milani on Sunday, and I see a box on her steps. It's like, what Adidas box is that? And next thing I know, she pulls these out. I was like, wow, no way. So dope. I think they're a dope shoe. I would definitely wear them. I know, I'm into weird colors and a lot of bright colors. So I'm definitely wearing those.
And
So,
I mean this with love and affection. I've been calling these the
careful.
Flintstones.
They look like the Flintstones. Absolutely.
Facts.
There's a black colorway as well. So, but yeah, yo, Chuck Claggett came to play. Dope.
Yo,
All right.
so Mom's copped those like Dolo, like without your help.
She got them. She knew what. She asked me where to get them from. She asked me where to get them. And she found them. I didn't even know she was really gonna buy them. Hey, look.
Gotta love the flex.
Yep, you got to.
Strong flex. She's actually got some sleeper heat in her closet. If she got some heat. All right.
So there have been some good cops over the last couple of months because I've told you guys, and you guys have seen the belt. Fantasy football was really good to the kid this year. So this year I don't think I've shown these yet.
Wow.
And even if I have, they would be worth a second showing. Because if you go back to their release year, I believe these released in 2020. I'll go back and check the date. But if you go and watch the We Are Something Else top 5 sneakers of the year video, this was one of my top 5 sneakers that year. They were my favorite dunk that came out that year. And the thing is because I actually just wore these for the first time, I wanted to show them off. These are the Civilist SB Dunks. And the cool thing about these, yes, I have swapped the laces out.
Pay attention. You don't know what these shoes do.
In the heat, and they're supposed to be like a play on a lava lamp. You can kind of get that from the from the insole there. Like
So,
Do you have a
in
blow
the
dryer with
heat,
you?
I do, but it's not cordless.
Oh,
Um, like in the heat, these joints they become it almost looks like a heat map. Like if you're familiar with the Weatherman KD4s or
yep.
whatever it is, like it's kind of like that, but it's reminiscent of a heat lamp. These things, it looks like a tie-dye shirt, kind of like these
They're
joints
dope.
are crazy.
They're
So
dope.
these are one of my favorite dunks that have come out in the last like number of years, especially since like the dunk resurgence. And these were on the list this year. These were one of those like instead of getting multiple pairs,
Quality over quantity.
it's I'm spending multiple pairs on one right now and just making it worth it. So here we go.
all right. Good. Oh, we got that problem again. Anyway, so Cleo kind of started the whole like going into the vault thing, and I took, kind of went and just rode with that because, I recently posted a picture of doing some inventory and having to go in and out of one location into another. But these shoes came out in 2017,
Okay.
and
Let's go.
because of how old they are, because if you think about we're in 23, to know that
Mhm.
I have never worn these shoes yet is almost damn near blasphemy that they will be
Oh
worn.
no.
But they have been treated, but they have not been worn. And this is also a shout out to they're fucking up the fives again.
Ooh,
No. Of course it's red.
The
god
all
damn it.
the all red suede fives. And when I tell you I
Yeah.
have not worn them,
But
you
yeah,
can
look
see
how
the
tight
damn
that lace
laces
is.
and
Yeah,
it's just
buddy.
that motherfucker's lice. I mean, this I have treated them and I will be wearing them, but I had to like it was good to go through the artillery of yeah the storage unit
Yeah.
because I have a bunch of shit that I have not put my foot in,
Wow.
and since these were 2007, I have never put my foot in this shoe yet. So
We're
I
praying for
better
a good
get to wearing
experience.
these shoes.
We're praying for a good experience.
Yeah. I mean, they've gotten handled, and I've kind of done the check, and everything seems solid and all that good stuff. I know it doesn't mean anything until you put it on concrete, but yeah, we're good. And of course, the story will be updated with these shoes somewhere outside, somewhere. Of course, now that it's stopped raining, it's cold as shit, but it
And
stopped raining
snow,
out
right?
here.
And snow. Real quick. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, 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 please. We're just, three guys just, trying to get a little check at some point and
Check your guys out some culture couture.
exactly.
And
Or
vets.
Like
Jordan
and
brand.
subscribe. I can subscribe all that good stuff on our YouTube channel, WRSC Podcast. But we need all the help we can get.
It just kills me trying to plug Jordan like we don't plug Jordan every show because
Exactly. We need all the help we can get. Oh, did somebody say plug Jordan? So there's a reason why I chose the Tiffany Air Force Ones tonight.
Yep.
There's a real reason why. And that reason is because I don't need the threes. I don't need them. The threes came to me. They came
Clean.
to me. These things are, they're super comfortable. I don't know what cushion or padding they put in these shoes, but I think whatever it was is reminiscent to what they put in the Lost and Founds because this is the reimagined threes that CB was just talking about. But yeah, super comfortable. Nice soft leather at the top. But you know what you can do to stop this nice leather from
getting creased
getting
up.
creased up. Let's get you a pair of these, like I wore today. Get yourself some crease beasts. Then I got $30 product. They're gonna save your dope leather toe boxes from creasing. It's got the little sock that you just put on the tip of your foot, and inside it's got the foam padding right here. Shout out to Crease Beast. Cut us a check. Somebody go cut us a check.
Come holla at us.
Somebody is cutting the check.
Yo, real quick.
God is good. Somebody's cutting the check.
White cement or black cement?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with black because I wasn't the whites. The whites really didn't get me. I'm like Dilbert. I'm sticking with the blacks. The blacks, you know a good thing. You see them, they're winning. They're winning right now.
That's an awesome question though. Not even gonna lie, that's an awesome question on the threes.
E. Tomlinson, you're a huge fan of the threes. Which
Right,
colorway?
right. Georgia,
Which
I
colorway
mean,
you rocking, E. Tomlinson? Let me know.
yeah, I mean, we actually should probably save that for Soul Tales. You know what I mean?
That is
For sure,
definitely
because I mean the
so-
red ones,
Yeah.
yeah. The red ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good. That's a.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We can build a show around that, I think.
Exactly. So look, if you haven't joined us and watched us before, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go back and watch some of the shorts. Go back and watch some of the Soul Tales episodes if you love sneakers, because we just did one last week. We had really good stuff. And good shout out to Culture Couture. That's my man. Be Easy. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go solo real quick. Shout out to E. Thompson. That's vets right there. Shout out to those good brothers who are doing their thing. Entrepreneurship for sure. What's that? That crooked crab? There you go. Yeah, I think Rashad with the crooked crab tonight too, and grabbed whatever their new flavor pack was. But look, this year is all about expanding,
Releases
growing,
on Thursdays.
and moving, right? So with all that said, we got a bunch of projects. He said he just did. We got a bunch of things that we're working on, trying to get the We Are Something Else name moving. And with that said, shameless plug, We Are Something Else presents The Abstract with your boy Kaleo, which is going to start tomorrow at noon. So go to our IG page, get the link, and come join me for about an hour, noon Eastern Standard Time, because I don't know who's watching. Come hang out with me for about an hour.
Lunch for us on the East Coast, breakfast
yeah,
for y'all on the West.
Tomorrow we're gonna celebrate Women's History Month. I'm just gonna have a little fun for about an hour on the abstract. And I know E's working on something. E's got something that's coming. Actually, got a couple things coming. We're working with something with CB. See, he just did. So look, we got something that we're trying to get this thing going, get the brand going. Soul Tales has got to move. The pod's got to move. All this stuff has got to move. And with all that said, that's all I got.